Good morning. Welcome to Follow Up Friday. So happy to have you here today, live or watching the recording. So every Friday I come on at 10 a.m. Pacific and I share a tip that you can implement that week to grow your business. So today I'm going to be talking about how to follow up with people after webinars or speaking engagements, because a lot of people are not doing that. So are you, like, if you do a webinar or a speaking gig, do you follow up with people? So I'm finding that most people, just whoever signs up for whatever they offer, they get their free gift or they sign up for their program, but everybody else just slips through the cracks, right? So today I'm going to share 3 steps you can take to follow up after webinars and enroll more clients to work with you, right? That's what we all want. So please feel free to share this video with anyone who's an entrepreneur who's struggling to grow their business. Maybe they're not experiencing consistent sales results, or they're just discouraged with their business, or they're doing webinars and not seeing results. Please share this with them. And if you're watching this on the replay, please comment down below wherever you're seeing this video and share your takeaways, ahas, insights, and any questions you have for me. I'll come back in and answer. So if you're new to my world, I'm Debbie Hoffman. I'm a sales and follow-up expert. I work closely with heart-centered coaches, consultants, all sorts of entrepreneurs who are letting potential clients and income slip through the cracks because they don't have a reliable and effective follow-up and sales process in place. So I support you to create a step-by-step system for your business, so you know what to do and what to say at every step of the process, and have more ideal clients saying yes to working with you. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about the problem that I'm seeing, that clients are slipping through the cracks from webinars and speaking engagements because people are not following up. So here's the first step. I have, and so many of my clients have gotten this assessment tool. It's like a quiz, but people are assessing themselves on the skill sets that you teach. And when people sign up for your speaking engagement or webinar, in the welcome email, you ask them to take this short assessment. It can take between 5 and 10 minutes. And they will learn so much about themselves. People love to take assessments because they get to see where they're doing really well in whatever area of expertise that you teach. And they also get to see where they're falling short and where they might be sabotaging their success. So in the email, I say, please take this short assessment. I'll use your results to customize my training to better support you. And people love that. They love that you hear them and see them and they feel understood. And then you're going to serve them at a higher level by focusing on some of those areas where people are struggling with the most. So for instance, in my talks and webinars, I talk about referrals a lot. If everybody's kicking butt with referrals, which never happens, but if that did happen and everybody scored themselves really high, I wouldn't spend as much time on that area. So you want to spend more time on those areas where people are struggling the most. So then you do your webinar, and actually during the webinar, I offer that as the free gift with another gift at the end. So some people have not taken it yet. So I bring it up early on in my webinar, and then I put at the end, when they get the email with their scores summarized, they will get another gift. I offer my authentic conversations, which are 3 templates to connect, serve, and sell from the heart. So what this assessment is, again, you're not asking them questions. You're putting in their statements that are having people evaluate themselves on all the skill sets that you teach. And they automatically assume you're the expert and can help them because you're asking those questions. So that's step number 1. Now, after the webinar, so step 2, after the webinar, whoever didn't sign up for your program or whatever you offered, you want to call the people who attended the webinar and took the assessment first. And when you call them, I always ask people, what was your biggest takeaway? I'm so happy you were able to join us the other day for my webinar or masterclass. just curious, what was your biggest takeaway, aha, or insight from what I shared? And then I'll ask a question to pre-qualify them. Well, if I don't have, before I had the assessment, I would say, what's your biggest challenge with sales and follow-up? But now I say, hey, I'm looking at your assessment results and I see that you rated yourself really low with, just for example, referrals, that you don't have a referral strategy in place. Please share more about that. What's going on there? And I go through all of their scores, but I highlight the high scores first because I want them to celebrate those and to feel really good about themselves. And then I share, I highlight the lower scores. And I ask them, how would, your business be? What would your business be like? How would you feel if we could get those 2s and 3s up to 8s, 9s, and 10s? And they always say, that would be so wonderful. They say something like that. And then I will invite them to the program. Well, that's exactly what my program, my Power Up Your Sales program, is going to help you to accomplish. Would you like me to share a little bit more about it with you? So you always want to ask for permission and not just plow in, assuming that they want to hear about it. So what happens during that conversation is magical because people have revealed their heart and soul in all the areas where they're struggling. They can't hide, like they've shared it with you and you now see it and you're highlighting those areas. And what I found is the connection that was created from these calls was unbelievable. And everybody thanked me for calling them. They said, nobody ever calls me after a webinar. And it really made my day. Some people said, you made my day. So if you're hesitating to follow up because you think you'll be, come across pushy and salesy, have this assessment tool and you'll connect with people on a deeper level and you won't feel salesy or pushy at all. And people will really, really, really appreciate you. All right, so that's step 2. There's so much to share. I could talk for hours about this. The third step now is if you leave a message for them, make sure, or if you text them, whatever you do first. I always recommend call first and then text and then email. But if you don't have a phone number, you'll have to just email. Make sure you put in your calendar to follow back up with them in a day or 2. Because if you don't, that person will slip through the cracks and you will forget about them. It's just the way it works. Okay. So just to summarize, send out this assessment in the welcome email when people register for your speaking engagement or your webinar. Number 2, call people, have it in front of you, highlight the scores, first the high scores and then the low scores, and have, a really deep connection or conversation with people. You will create a deep connection. There's no doubt. That's what's happened to me over and over and over again. And third, make sure you put it in your calendar to keep following up with them until you reach them and get a yes or no. I can't tell you how many times people have said to me, I signed up for your program because I was so impressed with your process. I don't have a process like this. So just to share some results I've had from using this assessment with my follow-up after webinars. One of my launches last year, it actually doubled the number of people who joined the program. And almost every single person I called said yes. There was just a couple people that didn't, that wanted to do it at a later date. But it was very powerful. And even, the best part is that the people who were in the program, the energy was very different because they really felt that I cared about them. And we had created a deeper connection. And so it was like a love fest. It was just like the best group I've ever had. It was phenomenal. So if you're struggling to enroll clients consistently and your conversion's been low, you're not getting results from your webinars, I'd love to invite you to connect with me for a follow-up on your dreams discovery session. And during this time together, we'll explore what you want to create in your business, what areas you might be sabotaging your success. And if we're a good fit, we'll discuss next steps and how we can work together. So you can go to www.talkwithdebbie.com. And I'll put that link down below as well. And if you're interested in checking out Magpie, the assessment, the link to do that is tinyurl.com/DAH Magpie, MAGPAI. And through Monday, they have a very, very deep discount going on, a special at $700 off, and you'll use the code SAB700. So I'll put all that down below. But please reach out if you have any questions about the software or if you're looking for support with sales and follow up. So I look forward to seeing you next week on Follow Up Friday. And if there's any topic you want me to cover, please let me know. I want to serve you where you're struggling the most. Okay? Have a fabulous weekend. See you next week on Follow Up Friday. Bye for now.